This is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reported tonight,
Bimbo Oloede.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, a federal high court vacates an order empowering AMCON to take over the Murtala Mohammed Airport MMA2. The president confers national honors on 313 Nigerians for exemplary conduct. The Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola calls for patience on Synagogue building collapse investigation. And protests in Hong Kong continue as tens of thousands of people camped on the streets defy calls to go home.
In our business news tonight, stockbrokers at the Nigerian equities market hail the return of initial public offers, describes it as a sign of renewed confidence in the market.
While on sports news, ex-internationals seek credible polls as delegates storm worry for tomorrow's Nigeria Football Federation Executive Committee elections.
We begin in Lagos State, southwest Nigeria, where the Federal High Court sitting has vacated an order empowering the Assets Management Company of Nigeria, AMCON, to take over the Murtala Mohammed Airport, MMA2, the old Federal Secretariat in Ikoyi, Lagos, and some other assets belonging to businessman Mr. Wale Babalakin. AMCON, through its counsel, Olisa Agbakoba, SAN, had obtained the order during the court's vacation, and through an ex parte application based on the inability of Bai Courtney to pay a 50 billion naira outstanding debt to the asset managers. In vacating the order, the presiding judge, Justice Ibrahim Buba, ruled that AMCON misled another federal high court judge to grant the order in the face of specific orders and pending suits on the matter. Justice Buba held that this was an abuse of court process. Our judiciary correspondent, Shola Shoyele, has the report.
That was the altercation that followed the ruling in the case between Bai Courtney Nigeria Limited and the Assets Management Company of Nigeria, AMCON. But for the noise from the court's generating set, it would have been more audible. It's not exactly clear what sparked this exchange of words between Mr. Agbakoba and Mr. Babalaki, but calm was restored following the intervention of all the senior lawyers who were present. But what exactly led to this embarrassing scenario? AMCON, through its counsel, Olisa Agbakoba, had obtained an ex parte order during the court's recent vacation. The order empowered AMCON to take over the Murtala Mohammed Airport, MMA2, the old Federal Secretariat in Ikoyi, Lagos, and some assets belonging to the chairman of Bai Courtney Nigeria Limited, Mr. Wale Babalakin, who is alleged to be owing the asset managers 50 billion naira. In the order, Mr. Agbakoba was also appointed the receiver manager of some properties belonging to Mr. Babalakin, including Bai Courtney Limited and Roygate Properties Limited. In vacating the order, Justice Ibrahim Buba ruled that AMCON misled the vacation judge of the Federal High Court, Justice Okon Abang, who granted the order despite pending suits on the matter. Justice Buba held that this was an abuse of court process. The court then urged parties in the suit to dialogue and embrace out-of-court settlement to resolve their issues. Though both parties accepted the verdict, Mr. Agbakoba said he would explore the opportunity of an appeal. The matter has been adjourned to December 9 for mention. Shola Sheyeli, Channels Television News.
The president of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, Pastor Ayo Orisha Jafo, has absolved himself from the controversial $9.3 million smuggled into South Africa, which involved 2 Nigerians and an Israeli using his private jet. The CAN president says that he is disappointed over what he describes as moves by some people to link him with the incident, adding that he had kept quiet all this while because he needed to explain his position to the church, which is his primary constituency. Pastor Orisha Jaffor insists that he was never a party to the movement of the $9.3 million from Nigeria to South Africa to purchase arms and ammunition, and that he would never do anything to tarnish the image of Jesus Christ or compromise the divine standard of the church. The CAN leader adds that President Goodluck Jonathan has nothing to do with the gift of the aircraft and wonders why those making the allegation still cannot come out to show their proof so that the matter can be put to rest once and for all. Now, staying with this contentious issue, human rights lawyer Mr. Femi Falana, SAN, has accused Pastor Orisha Jaffor of breaching the provisions of the Company and Allied Matters Act, CAMA, through the use of a private jet, which, according to the lawyer, belongs to a company in which he had an interest. Mr. Falana says that by the provisions of CAMA, the jet, which was allegedly registered for the facilitation of evangelism, could not be leased to another company for commercial purposes, as CAN had said while defending Pastor Orisha Jaffor. The lawyer describes as diversionary the statement credited to CAN that the jet had been leased to another company, apparently to deny Orisha Jaffor's involvement in the jet's mission to South Africa. He notes that many Nigerian pastors have been indicted in the United Kingdom for investing church funds in violation of the Charity Act. The President has bestowed national awards on 313 citizens in an event that took place at the International Conference Center in Abuja, Nigeria's federal capital. It was indeed a potpourri, with Nigerians cutting across various strata receiving the distinguished rosette. Our correspondent, Chukuma Onwekusi, reports.
It is a long list, dominated by known names in politics, security issues, sports, entertainment, business, and the corporate world. It also features names that are not very popular, whose lives are nevertheless worthy of emulation. President Goodluck Jonathan took time out to ensure that the investiture on them was well administered in the various categories. From the Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic to the CON, which went to about 60 of the distinguished Nigerians, there was no dull moment. Also, over 62 of them bagged the Order of the Federal Republic, some of them distinguished lawyers and technocrats, including the man who designed the national flag. Another 63 bagged the OON. They range from Deputy Inspectors General of Police, civil servants, academics, and businessmen.
Who has been elected 3 consecutive times.
While 50 members of the Order of the Federal Republic collected their honors awards, including the taxi driver who returned 8 million forgotten in his taxi, the steward who had served over 9 presidents in Nigeria, as well as the designer of the national flag.
For this gentleman, the taxi driver and Corporal Dada, we appreciate you. The Minister of FCT, are you here? Yes. Give one flat to each of them. And Secretary to Government, somebody who have contributed so much into the history of this country, the person who designed the Nigerian flag, Pa Michael Taiwo Akinkumi, who was also honored here. You have to place him on a salary of special assistant to the president forever.
They expressed gratitude to their country and Mr. President.
It seems to me like a dream, because I did not expect up to this level.
This award, what it is going to do is to spur me on to be on the right side of history.
That you are honored, recognized by your country is something that is fantastic.
For me, Mr. President's award, it is our president.
And for me, it's a call to, it's a call to more hard work, and it's a call to delivering better services to Nigeria.
I use this opportunity to tell Nigerians that hard work does pay.
For me, this is a moral booster.
The new awardees join the league of those who have made Nigeria proud. They are urged to ensure that this country continues to enjoy the stability that gave them an occasion like this. Chukwuma Onwekusi, Channels Television News.
The Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola has said that the government will act methodically and in a civilized manner in investigating the collapse of the Synagogue Church of All Nations. He was speaking during a courtesy call. Mr. Fashola insists that the investigations will be carried out painstakingly with scientific processes. He, however, said that the state is separating urban and town planning, but the challenge lies in having building controls in place and monitoring constructions.
Building collapse at the synagogue was rather unfortunate. But I think that we must understand that our government has repeatedly said that we will investigate, and we will do so. And last week, Friday, I think the Attorney General empaneled the coroner's court, because that is the appropriate machinery of government to undertake this kind of investigations when people die in such tragic and unnatural circumstances. And I think that we should just allow that process to go on. And I think that the investigation will be helped if we refrain from any further comments about these things. This is the way that every civilized society proceeds. And we must assume that all the necessary provisions of law will be complied with. That is our track record here. And nothing less will happen in this case. That is the minimum that every government must do. But people must understand that when accidents like this happen, there are many stages to it. Perhaps we have gotten used to what was an inappropriate conduct to get to crime and accident scenes and pronounce that this is what has happened before the investigations are concluded. We are professionals. We are not trained like that. And so if people are not used to our methods, they must get used to it. Because
in part 2, after the break, in continuation of our build-up series to Independence Day, tonight the focus shifts to politics. Professor of International Law, Akin Oyebode, is our guest. Mr.